my goal here is to make you aware of what might be stopping you, the 3 mindset barriers that are really keeping you from playing a bigger game, going all in, and really achieving the crazy levels of success that you could be achieving. This week, I'm doing a solo show for you. I want to talk about what's really holding you back. The 3 mindset blocks that keep brilliant entrepreneurs from playing bigger and hitting those bigger goals. Now, we are halfway through the year when this podcast is coming out. We still have 6 months of 2025. And I want to know, what are you going to do with that? I see so many people that are holding themselves back that have massive potential, massive opportunity, and yet they are not stepping into that. They're not stepping into that next level. Now, this episode is really not for beginners. This episode is for people that are experts. They're seasoned pros. You should be further along if you're an entrepreneur and you've been doing what you've been doing for a long time. But I want to expose the invisible walls that keep the smartest and most capable people stuck at their current level. And look, I struggled with these same things too. So here's the thing though, if you are aware of them, then you can change them, right? If you're not aware of something, you can't change it. You can't fix it. You can't move forward. So my goal here is to make you aware of what might be stopping you, the 3 mindset barriers that are really keeping you from playing a bigger game, going all in, and really achieving the crazy levels of success that you could be achieving. Number 1 is what I like to call success paralysis. This is the fear of losing what you've built. I see this a lot when people are leveling up, when my clients are leveling up. They're afraid to let go of what they've worked so hard to build up, and yet what they've built up isn't working the same way it once did. And so if you think about business and how it evolves, we all have to evolve in business. And what worked even a year ago or 2 years ago, we are seeing isn't working in the marketplace any longer, or it's not working the same. So it requires us to level up. It requires us to step into something new. So they often think to themselves, if I stretch for more, what if I lose what I already have? So this is a hidden fear for most successful entrepreneurs. They don't really fear failure. They fear losing their current success. And it's a valid fear, but it creates paralysis. So they hold on really tight to what's working, even if it's no longer aligned or scalable, so that they don't lose what they have. I often see this with people when they've built this incredible brand and they've built this great business, and it has served them well for years. But then when it's time to step up, because now they've acquired all of this expertise and they have acquired new skills, and they haven't yet evolved into the level that they should be working, they stay actually working below their skill set. And here's what happens when you do that. First of all, there's a cost to that. When you could be playing at the top of your market, getting paid the highest fees, getting out of what I like to call the shark-infested waters where everyone is playing, because you've developed your skill set to the point where you are a true expert in your field. When you are not playing at that level, when you're not working in that level, there is a very real cost. You're leaving so much money on the table because you could be working with the top 1, 2, 5% of the market, which is the highest level of the market. And yet maybe you're staying down here with everybody else. I think about one of my clients was charging around, $9,000 for her biggest program. And she had built this incredible brand through the years. She was very well known for that brand. But over the years, she really became an expert at what she was doing. She was speaking all over the world. She had incredible results. She really knew her stuff. And she wanted to play at a higher level. And so we started working together. She wanted to actually create a 6-figure offer. And she wanted to be able to bring in those really high-end clients. And so when I work with clients, we look at what can your top tier offer be, but then we typically will work and offer a couple of different levels below that so that there can also be a downsell. So maybe your lowest cash offer might be $25,000 or $50,000. So she wanted a 6-figure offer, but that required her to change her brand. Her brand was never, the brand that she had built all those years was never going to call in or even attract those 6-figure clients. And so I remember when we started working together and she was so excited about everything, but then as we started leveling her up and making the required shifts that we needed to make, she started getting nervous, right? Because she had built something incredible, but it was really no longer serving her. It wasn't serving her inside, like she wasn't feeling fulfilled anymore with the clients she was working with. She was frustrated with the clients she was working with. It wasn't serving her financially. And so she just wasn't working with the clients that she could have been working with. And so she was already losing money because she hadn't stepped into that level. But when we went to change up her brand so that it really would call in these high-level people that she was looking for, she got nervous, and rightfully so, right? She had spent a lot of years building this up. So she kind of straddled the fence for just a little bit of time as we're putting the systems in place, the marketing and sales systems and everything in place. She straddled the fence for a bit, but then she made the decision, you know what, I'm going to go all in on this. Even if I downsell my lowest offer at $25,000 cash, which is what her low tier offer was, she said, even if I downsell people to that, she said, I'm still going to make more money than I've ever made. And so she went all in. And it was literally a week or so before all of a sudden, when we changed up her brand and everything she was saying out there, the message she was putting out there and the people she was targeting, she started getting inquiries and she started getting people inboxing her, emailing her, booking on her calendar. And as a result, in just a few days, she closed more business than she had closed the previous year. Now think about that. So she had been leaving all of that money on the table because she was really afraid to completely and fully step in to what I like to call really that new identity. But it was costing her. It was costing her so much money. And so, staying comfortable, it becomes a trap. It's kind of like a security blanket, right? Or it feels like security to stay where you're comfortable, even if it's no longer serving you, which doesn't make any sense, right? But when you realign what you are doing to work at the level that you should be working at, even if that means you're reinventing who you are, your identity, it is so worth it. Because did you hear what I said? She made more money in a few days when she fully stepped into this than she had made the previous year. That's significant, right? So this is what happens when people stay comfortable. I see it all the time. And I think about when I first started consulting people and working with people, I actually became very frustrated with my business because I felt like I was really working below my skill set. And I was helping these people have great success and make a lot of money, but I wasn't charging enough. And I found that not only was I leaving a lot of money on the table for what I could have been doing, I also was very frustrated with my business. I felt like I could be working with much higher level clients who would pay me a lot more. So maybe you've experienced this, but I have to tell you that if you're staying there, it is a mindset block that is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you from playing a bigger game, and there is a cost that is associated with that. So number one is what I like to call, again, the success paralysis. Okay, so let's not stay there. Don't fear losing what you've built. Let's start getting excited about evolving really into that new identity that's going to play at the top with the top people. All right, number two is what I like to call the expert identity trap. And this goes along with what I was just saying about I built my brand on, being this, and can I really shift without losing credibility? And the answer is yes. You've built all of that credibility. You've built all of that expertise, but you're staying stuck in the identity trap that you're in. And it's hard to evolve, again, when you box yourself in to your current positioning. So your positioning needs to completely level up when you're trying to level up. And if you're afraid to pivot or you're afraid to elevate your offer and charge higher fees or go much higher, if you're afraid to go into bigger opportunities, bigger rooms, start working with bigger clients, you really are staying in this identity trap. So I want you to think about how to elevate your reputation. Elevate your services, elevate your offers, elevate your brand, but more importantly, elevate your identity, who you are, who you want to be. You might be an expert at what you do, but if you don't elevate your positioning, if you don't make changes in what you're doing just because you're an expert, you're going to stay trapped. I like to say it's like hiding your brilliance. And I see this all the time. You're hiding your brilliance because you won't make the bold moves. You won't implement the bold business strategy that's going to literally skyrocket your revenue. You are still, again, there's a bit of that comfort, a bit of that security, but also you are really afraid to step into that new identity. It's like saying, well, this is what people know me for. And so now if I rebrand or if I step into that new identity, again, I'm going to lose all of this, but also will I lose respect? And the answer is people will be wowed by what you do because they'll see that you're elevating who you are. They'll see that you're playing a bigger game. I remember when I first started running luxury mansion retreats, and I was giving those to my clients, and they would come spend 3 or 4 days with me in a luxury mansion, and I would bring in a private chef, and we had these incredible fun events. Like, we've done hot air balloon rides and zip lining and riverboat cruises and all of these things that we did, but we also worked on business during those events, and we would do professional photo shoots so that they could walk away with incredible marketing assets. And I remember when I started running those mansion retreats, it elevated my brand, and the people that kind of in a way felt like they were maybe on my level or peers, all of a sudden were like, wow, you're playing a bigger game. You're doing bigger things. And so it really was inspiring to people more than it was hurting my reputation. It actually elevated my reputation. And I see this all the time with my clients. It actually elevates their reputation. It's like people that won't make big, bold moves, people that won't step into that next level of who they need to be, they actually are the ones that will all of a sudden be sitting there saying, what happened? How did I get left behind, right? Don't be the person that gets left behind. It's time for you, if you're an expert, if you're ready to step into all of that brilliance that you have and let it shine and let it be seen and let it build not only a standout brand, but a standout business model where, again, you're getting paid by the best clients. When you do that, you're going to be inspiring to people. You're not going to hurt your reputation in any way. All right, number 3 is isolation at the top. I still see people trying to do it themselves. I run workshops. I run virtual online workshops, and I see people come into those workshops, and I'm teaching them how to create really high-end offers, $50,000, $100,000 plus offers. And I can't tell you the amount of people that still go away and think they can do it for themselves. Now, I've spent, probably about 15 years honing my craft, honing what I do with clients, helping clients be able to put the perfect offer together to get paid bigger fees. And so the fact that they think they can come to a workshop for a few hours and then go away and do it all is really, they're just kidding themselves. I'm telling you, they're just kidding themselves. All that workshop does is open their mind to what is possible and what they could be doing that they're not. But to think that you can go away and still DIY things, you don't have enough time to learn it. I just said it took me about 15 years to learn what I've learned to do what I now do and what I'm so good at doing, about 15 years. I don't know, do you have that kind of time? So when you aren't around people that think bigger than you, when you aren't around people that are in bigger rooms, when you aren't owning your brilliance and finding the mentor or the person that you could work with or the person that's really going to level you up, when you're still trying to do it yourself and you're isolated at the top, good luck. It's very difficult, number one, to do it for yourself. Trust me, it took me a long, long time to do it for myself. Even though I hired mentors and I hired people, they still didn't quite have what I needed. And I, again, found that out the hard way, which you get value from everything. So not complaining in any way, shape, or form. I believe everything brings value. But when I would hire a mentor thinking that they could help me play at the level that I wanted to play at, I found that I was still being held back and still playing small because they didn't know how to help me step into the level that I wanted to be at. And I see this all the time with my clients. I have a client, for example, that was running a company, and she was getting paid a few $1,000s a month per client, which she had a great company. She was doing really well, but she was giving away her most valuable, really, brilliance. She was very strategic. She understood psychology, and she said, if these people would let me implement the things I know about marketing and sales, she said they would get much better results. So she was kind of coaching them or advising them on these things, but she was doing it for free. And it was frustrating for her because she, again, trained and worked a lot of years to learn what she learned. And she said, I want to put together a strategic advisory offer, but I don't really know how to package, market, and sell this. So we did. We put together a $52,000 offer for her. She went back to an existing client. Maybe some of you have heard this story if you've heard me on other shows, or you've watched a lot of my videos or trainings. But she went back to an existing client, and the way she presented the offer, they were intrigued and they said yes. $52,000 cash in the bank. And then when she started working with them in those first couple of sessions with that new offer, she literally opened the floodgates. And that offer turned into over a $400,000 sale. Now, this is what happens. I like to call this an expert gateway offer. So this is a front end offer that opens the door to bigger engagements. That could be 6 figures, that could be multiple 6 figures, that could even be a 7-figure engagement. So it's kind of like giving them a taste or offering something that's going to wow them or give them a quick result. And then it opens the door to uncover all of the gaps and everything that they truly need. And this is exactly what we worked together on, and it turned into a huge sale for her. So when you are not working with mentors, or you're trying to still DIY, or you think you've got it all figured out, or you think you can do a free training and you can just go and do it, it just isn't that easy. That's why mentors are around. That's why people make money being a mentor, being a coach, being a consultant, being an advisor, because they know things you don't know. And there are details and nuances in everything that people are experts in that you won't know, you won't see, you can't see everything. You can't see all the details that go into something. It's kind of like I can put out the idea, hey, do you have a $50,000 rinse and repeat offer? I actually just did a training around this. Do you have a $50,000 rinse and repeat scalable offer? It can be a front end offer. It can be a new offer for you to scale, but do you have one? Do you have a $50,000 scalable offer? Now I can put that idea out there and people can say, oh, wow, that's a great idea. I think I'm going to go see how I can do it. But is that really all there is to it? Is just creating a $50,000 offer? No, there's so much more to it. Like, who are you going to target that has the money to pay you? Or do you need to get set up on funding? Or how are you going to sell that? How do you market that? Right? What are the details of the marketing piece to be able to even get in front of those people that will pay you that kind of money? And then are they people that, again, if you want to open that up to be a bigger engagement, that's maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars or $1 million, do you even know how to do that, right? There's a process to that. So even though the idea of having a $50,000 rinse and repeat scalable offer sounds great, will you even have it structured in the right way so that people would easily say yes? See, there's just more to it than that. It's not about the idea, right? It's about all the details that go into something like this. So when you're isolated at the top, which was number 3, and you might be a genius, but your model is going to probably hold you back. You're not going to be able to break through the ceiling that you currently are at. You're really not getting the help that you need to be able to, number 1, make faster leaps. Number 2, do them in the right way, right? So they work. And number 3, even level up your thinking so that you're playing at the top of your game. So you might think, I just said a $50,000 rinse and repeat offer, but what if you had a 6-figure rinse and repeat offer sitting inside of you that you could be selling? So now if you just take what I just said and you go implement that, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? But if I'm working with you and I'm pulling out that brilliance and I know what you can't see. I see blind spots. I see your value. I see your expertise. I see your brilliance. I know what the market looks for and how to look at the market and say, is this a viable offer? What if that is a 6-figure offer and not a $50,000 offer? Do you see what I'm saying? So just taking an idea and running with it, typically will keep you, again, playing small. One of the reasons I hire mentors, one of the reasons why I don't ever hesitate to invest is because I don't have all the time to learn everything. And even if I had all the time in the world, I would not be able to learn everything. And then you try to learn everything and then you've got to decipher it. I like to use the metaphor, what if you took 100,000 piece puzzles and dumped them all together in the floor? And then I said to you, hey, put all these puzzle pieces, put all these puzzles together. What a nightmare. And yet that's what people are doing when they're trying to learn everything and then figure out, how do you put these pieces together? I see people piecemealing their business all the time. In fact, most of the clients that I work with have piecemealed their business together, and it's really held them back. Well, isolation at the top is one of the reasons this happens. They're not getting into the right rooms. They're not working with the right mentor who can really take them to their pinnacle of success. All right, so I know I've said a lot here, and I hope that I have inspired you to want to do bigger things. I hope this has hit home and you know that you're ready for bigger, bolder moves. Your brilliance is hidden. You're not at the level you should be for all the years that you have been working in your business. I mean, I look at people that have been in business for years and they're still at low six figures. I look at people that have been in business for years that haven't even broken through six figures. It's just craziness to me. Or people that have these huge teams and they have this huge business and they haven't broken through seven figures. What? There's definitely something wrong there. So I want to encourage you to really level up. I want to encourage you to move into that real brilliance and let it shine and let it show and get paid for what you do. These are your power plays. These are your strategic power plays. And look, if I can help you break through that seven figures, or I can help you add another seven figures with a $50,000 or $100,000 rinse and repeat scalable offer, or I can help you rebrand so that you can bring in those really high-end premium clients you look like you deserve to make the money you're asking, then we need to have a conversation. I want to talk to you about doing it now. We've got 6 months left before the end of 2025. And look, friends, things are not getting easier, but the people that literally make leaps, the people that go all in, that make big, bold moves, that say, you know what, I'm done. I am done playing small. I'm done working beneath my skill set. I'm done not getting paid at the level that I should be getting paid for the value that I bring. I am an expert. I am brilliant at what I do. And my business should reflect that. If that is you, then we need to talk. You can book a call with me at anncarden.com. Don't wait. The time is now. The clock is ticking. Every time you sit back and take your time, every time you listen to something like this and you don't take action, you don't do it now, you're leaving a fortune on the table. You're letting other people pass you up. You're letting other people make those leaps and take the clients that you deserve to get. Don't let these three things hold you back. Don't let these mindset barriers keep you from playing at the top of your game. Be done. Be done playing small. Don't worry. Go all in. Look, business is evolving fast. AI's come onto the scene and so many things are happening. Business is evolving fast. This is the time. And look, it's never been more difficult to try to be a DIYer or figure things out yourself, or even depend on a team that may or may not know many of the things that need to be known in the marketplace today. So just because you have a team doesn't mean you're profitable, doesn't mean you're playing at the top of your game. And you know in your gut, you know in your heart, if you're not giving your business everything you've got. And again, the runway is short. We don't have forever, right? We don't have forever to make those big leaps, because as you're sitting there, again, other people are passing you up and the market's already evolving. It happens over and over again. I think about if somebody comes to me that, heard me 2 years ago, or they talked to me 2 years ago and they're interested in whatever I was doing 2 years ago. I'm like, are you kidding? I don't even do that anymore. I don't even do that anymore. And because things evolve, I evolved. I have evolved. You should be evolving. We should all be consistently leveling things up. If you're going to play, again, at the top, you've got to think this way, and you've got to realize that nothing stays the same. Everything moves, right? Nothing's static. And if you are staying static, if you're staying comfortable, if you're staying where you are right now because you're nervous about losing what you've created, then you're always going to stay stuck in that same place. And here's the thing, that means you're on the decline. You may not see it yet, maybe you do. But if you're not moving forward, if you're not consistently making leaps forward, you're declining. So you've got to make changes in what you're doing, or this is why a lot of people go out of business, quite honestly, or they burn out. I don't want that for you. So look, book a call at anncarden.com. Let's talk about your next big leap, breaking through that 7 figures or adding 7 figures to your business. I would love to have a conversation with you. Have an amazing day. God bless you. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.